So, after having done the theory of citizenship, now we'll try to move on and see that what are the provisions that we have in the constitution, basically the articles in the constitution related to the topic of citizenship. So, you understand broadly the meaning in respect of the theory, but even your book Lakshmikant gives you kind of a meaning, like slightly meaning in the sense that they introduce you to certain terms there. So, we'll do that here. So, firstly, we understand the meaning and the significance, and then seeing the constitutional provisions of the same. So, as you talk about the meaning and the significance, you would come across the terms like citizens and aliens here. So, in India, two types of members like we can have. One would be the citizens of India. And who are the citizens? Who get the full membership of the Indian state. This is what we did in the theory. So, I hope you understand that. Let's say if you would have just started doing this, because this is borrowed from your Lakshmikant. Okay? There is chapter number 6 in the book, which is dealing with this chapter. So you would have directly started reading about it. But now that you know the theory, that it talked about full and equal membership, and therefore this is how they define it. So who are the citizens who get full membership of Indian state and owe allegiance to it? Okay? It means Indian state. And they also get all the civil and the political rights. On the other hand, we can also have another group of people who would be called as aliens. Who are aliens for us? Of course, not somebody belonging to another planet. This is not being used in a scientific term. This is used in the sense that these are the citizens of some other nation state. So, not Indian state, but some other state. Of course, they will not enjoy the civil and the political rights because they are not the members of our state. Now, amongst those aliens also, you can have two categories. One, the friendly aliens. Who would be the friendly aliens? Who would be the subject of those countries, I mean the people belonging to those countries who have cordial relations with India. So because we have different kinds of relations with different nations, we can have friendly relations also, we can have certain enmity related relations also. So those people who are outsiders but belonging to those countries who have good relations, cordial relations with India, we'll call them friendly aliens. Enemy aliens would be the one who would be the subject of the countries which is, let's say, not having good relations, so having a hostile relation or at war with India. So of course the members of those countries, or you call them enemy aliens in this technical context here, they will have the lesser right as compared to the friendly aliens, and any kind of alien will have lesser rights or kind of comparatively very different rights as compared to the citizens. That is like pretty obvious. Okay, now when we talk about the constitution, so where we have all of these things, so firstly we'll have to see that there are certain rights and privileges which are accorded to the citizens of India but not to the aliens. Okay, what kind of rights are we talking? Firstly, articles 15, 16, 19, 29 and 30. Now, what are these articles? You have to remember these 5 because in prelims they can ask you. Because in fundamental rights, the other rights are given to not only citizens but non-citizens also. So they use the word persons for it. So except these 5 fundamental rights, the other fundamental rights, which we'll do in the coming chapter, they are given to any kind of persons, all kind of persons. But these 5 are exclusively for the citizens of India. So you have to remember these numbers 15, 16, 19, 29 and 30. Let's try to see what are these articles. So just seeing the name here, okay, details anyways we have to do later. So let's say article 15 talks about prohibition of discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. So this is equality. So apart from 15 you had 16, which is about equality of opportunity in matters of employment. So discrimination on these grounds, then public employment, ये सारी चीज़ें हमने अपने citizens के लिए ही सिर्फ रखी हुई हैं. Then 19 was there, protection of certain rights regarding freedom of speech, etc. So we have certain rights within this, 6 rights basically, freedom of speech, association, etc, etc. So all of that we will see. So that is also with the citizens only. And then 29 and 30. So protection of interest of the minorities and rights of the minorities to establish and administer the educational institution. These are also granted to the citizens. This is what you have to remember. And apart from these fundamental rights, okay, so there are these other rights also which are accorded only to the citizens by the constitution, like right to vote in the elections to Lok Sabha and Legislative Assembly of the state, right to consent, okay, I think it should be about contest here. So I've just made the corrections. Right to contest for the membership of parliament and state legislature. So right to vote or right to become a member. Either way, that's just granted to the citizens. And eligibility to hold certain public offices. What kind of public offices are allowed only for the citizens? Like president, vice president, the judges of Supreme Court and High Court, the governors of the state, Attorney General of India, and Advocate General of State. So these are the offices, the public offices, and only the citizens of India are eligible to hold these offices. Moving on. Also, we have to remember that the citizens owe duties towards state. So it's not that just they get the rights, but they also have to have the duties, so that we also understand. Acha, India mein there is this question has also been asked in prelims in a different language, and you also have to remember this point. India or US के case में there is this difference that India में the office of president, ठीक है, can be held both by a citizen, either who is a citizen by birth or a naturalized citizen. Now, what is the distinction between two? Abhi hum nahi karenge. When we'll talk about the methods of obtaining citizenship, then we'll do in detail. Okay, so you have segments about it. For example, birth, descent, registration, naturalization, etc. And then within that we have like so many details to cover. So that is a subject matter for the next class. Abhi ke liye just remember that in India, anyone who is a citizen by birth or by naturalization can become a president. But in US, the president would be the one who would only be the citizen of US by birth. Okay? This you have to remember. So this was the background for this topic of citizen or citizenship. Now we have to see the constitutional provisions about it. So firstly, where it is given in part 2 of the constitution, article 5 to 11. But you have to remember this. There are not elaborate or permanent provisions with related to citizenship given in the constitution. ठीक है, there are provisions. अभी हम उसी को देखेंगे. This lecture is dedicated for that. But not detailed or permanent provision. So you will say that then what is the content matter here? The content is only identification of persons who became citizens of India at the commencement of the constitution. So like 26th of January 1950 commencement of the constitution took place. So at that point of time, recognizing those people who became the citizens of India, सिर्फ ये काम करता है ये articles, and it does not deal with the problems of acquisition of citizenship, that how can you acquire the citizenship of India, or loss of citizenship, that how will you lose the citizenship of India subsequent to its commencement. इसके बाद 1950 onwards से अब तक how can you acquire or how can you lose your citizenship पे आर्टिकल्स कोई बात नहीं करता है. सो इट ओनली टॉक्स अबाउट द आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ पर्सन्स हु बिकेम द सिटीजन्स एट द कमेंसमेंट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. ये पहली चीज़ आपको याद रखनी है, ठीक है. देन यू विल से दैट हाउ विल वी डील विद दिस मैटर. कहाँ पे दिया रहेगा एक्विजिशन और लॉस के बारे में. सो पार्लियामेंट को पावर मिली हुई है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से दैट पार्लियामेंट कैन इनैक्ट अ लॉ फॉर ऑल द मैटर्स विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू सिटीजनशिप. एंड बिकॉज पार्लियामेंट गॉट द पावर टू इनैक्ट अ लॉ to have the matters related to citizenship, they came up with this act known as Citizenship Act of 1955, which we'll discuss in the next video. So Citizenship 1955 का ये जो act है, ठीक है, यही सारे मैटर से डील करता है कि हाउ कैन यू लूज और अक्वायर सिटीजनशिप. एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स अमेंडमेंट्स टुक प्लेस इन दिस. तो मल्टीपल टाइम्स अमेंडमेंट्स हैपन, बट द लेटेस्ट वन विच इज़ द मोस्ट कॉन्ट्रोवर्शियल विच इज़ सिटीजनशिप अमेंडमेंट एक्ट 2019, जिसको आप CAA 2019 बोलते हो. लॉकडाउन कोविड और वो सब होने के पहले 2020 में मतलब 2020 लॉकडाउन हैपन इन मार्च. बिफोर दैट 2019 was all about the last half of it was about the protest and everything related to this CAA 2019, and that is what is the amendment to this original act of 1955. So in the next video we'll try to see what are the provisions under this act, and then we'll try to see what are the provisions under the amendment act and how we can like distinguish all of that. तो उस पर नेक्स्ट में बात करेंगे, ठीक है. चलिए अभी के लिए आगे बढ़ते हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोविजंस पे. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, so articles 5 to 11 are dealing with it. So the different subject matters are there. Firstly, amongst the first 4 articles, and we'll see it word by word, it says that following 4 categories of persons became the citizens of India at the commencement of the constitution. So what all categories they're talking about? Article 5 talks about the people who were domiciled in India. आर्टिकल 6 टॉक्स अबाउट द पर्सन्स हु माइग्रेटेड फ्रॉम पाकिस्तान टू इंडिया, क्योंकि उसके पहले ही पार्टीशन हुआ था 47 में. आर्टिकल 7 टॉक्स अबाउट द पीपल हु माइग्रेटेड टू पाकिस्तान बट देन लेटर रिटर्न टू इंडिया. And Article 8 talks about the people, the persons of Indian origins who were residing outside India. So people who had their origin, who can trace their origin to India, but they were living outside India. So what about the citizenships of these people at the commencement of the constitution? ये इन आर्टिकल्स में कवर्ड है, डिटेल अभी 2 मिनट में देखेंगे. Some other provisions, तो आर्टिकल 9 talks about voluntarily acquiring citizenship of a foreign state. So if you are voluntarily, अगर आप अपनी मर्जी से, ठीक है, किसी दूसरे फॉरेन स्टेट के सिटीजनशिप को अक्वायर करते हो, सो यू विल नॉट बी कंसिडर्ड एज अ सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया, यू विल लूज योर सिटीजनशिप. उस पर हम आगे बात करेंगे जब हम आर्टिकल देखेंगे. आर्टिकल 10 टॉक्स अबाउट कंटिन्यूएंस ऑफ द राइट्स ऑफ सिटीजनशिप एंड 11 टॉक्स अबाउट पार्लियामेंट टू रेगुलेट द राइट ऑफ सिटीजनशिप बाई लॉ, जहाँ से ये बात आ गई कि पावर है पार्लियामेंट को, एंड दैट विल इंक्लूड एक्विजिशन और टर्मिनेशन ऑफ सिटीजनशिप. ठीक है, सो दिस इज द ब्रॉडली लाइक दिस, यू कैन रिवाइज बिफोर द एग्जाम सो दैट यू रफली नो दैट ओके दिस इज द कंटेंट मैटर. डिटेल्स क्या है उसको हम अभी देखेंगे, एंड देन एज आई सेड दिस कंटेंट फ्रॉम द नेक्स्ट वीडियो. सो विल जस्ट ट्राई टू सी द आर्टिकल्स नाउ. So firstly you see this, that we have already done the articles on the union and the territory part 1. So now it is part 2 citizenship and 5 to 11. ठीक है, इसकी का short अभी I just showed you in the notes. Now we will see the detailed content of it. So part 2 citizenship article 5 as it says citizenship at the commencement of the constitution, कि किन किन लोगों को citizenship मिलेगी. So it is telling that at the commencement of the constitution every person who has his domicile in the territory of India. ठीक है, so we have seen that it talks about the domicile. अभी आपको मैंने दिखाया कि article 5 deals with the people who are domiciled in India. तो अब ये क्या कह रहा है कि every person who was or having the domicile in India and who was born in the territory of India, तो या तो उस इंसान का खुद जन्म ही हुआ हो इंडिया में, या either of the parents of the person would have been born in India, or who has been ordinarily resident in the territory for not less than 5 years immediately preceding such commencement. मतलब immediately preceding means 1950 commencement happened, तो उसके just पहले के 5 साल यानी 1945 to 50 के बीच में who was resident of India. ठीक है, all of these people will be considered as a citizen of India. ये बोला गया आर्टिकल 5 के थ्रू, because they were dealing with the matter at the time of commencement of constitution. Then next article 6 says rights of the citizenship of certain persons who have migrated to India from Pakistan. This is what we read, persons who migrated to India from Pakistan. So let's understand. So it is telling कि notwithstanding anything in article 5, मतलब ऊपर वाले आर्टिकल में irrespective of whatever is given in article 5, a person who has migrated to India from Pakistan will also be a citizen at the commencement of constitution if, so those people who have migrated from Pakistan to India, if they fulfill these conditions, they would also be the considered as a citizen of India at the time of commencement of constitution. Let's see what are they. So firstly it is about the people who are he or either of his parents or any of his grandparents. तो या तो the person himself or herself or either of the parents of the person or any of the grandparents of the persons were born in India, and that has to be dealing with the Government of India Act 1935 because this was the act prominent there. Another criteria to be fulfilled. Now it is telling and, it is not or. Now notice here, it is or, which means either of the conditions if fulfilled, the person would be considered citizen. But here when it is telling and, which means this along with this has to be fulfilled. ठीक है, अच्छा अब इसमें क्या and में फिर क्या दिया हुआ है, in the case where such person, so either the person, the parent or the grandparent has migrated before 19 July 1948. Now you just read the dates here, you don't have to be very don't get confused with the dates, you don't have to rote memorize them, just roughly get an idea, read it once and it would be okay. Just know about mainly the content matter of which article is dealing with what. That is actually more important than the dates within. So it is telling that those who migrated before 19 July 1949 and were ordinarily resident in India since migration, or, now here it is or, so either of these provision has to be combined with the first one. In the case where such person has migrated after 19 July, then he has been registered as a citizen by officer appointed in that behalf by Government of India, Dominion of India. So if the person has migrated before this, then and the person was residing in India, then to citizen ho gaye, okay. But if the person has migrated after this date, then some officer appointed for this purpose need to register that person as citizen. And how will the officer register? The officer will not register apne aap, right? So the person would have to give an application that you have to please register, like requesting that please register me as a citizen. तो उस केस में भी वो citizen बन जाएंगे. Provided and no person shall be registered unless he has been resident for at least 6 months before preceding the date of application. So the day when that person would be writing the application, उससे at least 6 महीने पहले तक वो इंडिया में रह रहे होने चाहिए, रेसिडेंट होने चाहिए. रेसिडेंट मतलब somebody who is residing, just residing in the country. And if the person is not resident at least 6 months before, then the person will not be registered. Okay. Now Article 7 talks about rights of citizenship of certain migrants to Pakistan. So it is about those people who migrated to Pakistan first, because 1947 it was all chaos. Suddenly things started to change. So of course it took time to figure things out. Some people went, then they came, and all of that, those chaotic things happened. So migration to Pakistan, but then they later returned to India. तो आपको उनको भी तो citizenship देनी पड़ेगी. So 7th के केस में क्या है कि above 2 articles तो है ही जो लिखा हुआ है, but a person who after 1st March 1947 migrated from territory of India to the territory which is now included in Pakistan will not be deemed to be a citizen. तो उन्होंने बोला कि आफ्टर 1st मार्च के बाद जो लोग आए हैं, दे विल नॉट बी सिटीजन, प्रोवाइडेड that nothing in this article shall apply to a person who after having so migrated to the territory which is presently Pakistan returned. Basically, in short, what they are trying to say, I do not get confused. In the first one, they are telling कि after 1st of March 1947, if you migrated from India to Pakistan, you are not a citizen. As simple as that. But if you migrated but later returned to India, ठीक है, under a permit for resettlement or a permanent return. So if you would have got certain permits from the authority and you later returned to India, then that case you will be considered as a citizen, but who would have migrated after 19th of July 1948. This is the condition. Then 8th article, मतलब article number 8 says right of citizenship of persons of Indian origin. So people belonging to Indian origin but residing outside India. So a person who or either of whose parents or grandparents were born in India, again as per this act, and who is ordinarily residing in any country outside India. So residing outside India and defined will be a citizen if the person is registered as a citizen by the diplomatic or consular representative of India in that country. So in short, the person who is of Indian origin but residing outside India, so if that person is registered with this outside country, with their diplomatic or consular representative, क्योंकि हर देश में आपको पता है ना, मतलब हर कंट्री की एम्बेसी होती है, तो वहाँ पे जो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स हैं, जो फॉरेन सर्विस ऑफिसर्स रहते हैं, रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स हैं, इफ़ यू आर रजिस्टर्ड विद दैम, calling that okay, I am citizen of India only, but I am just residing in this country. So in that case, and of course you do this application and all of that work, whether before or after the commencement of the constitution. But if you follow the prescribed form and manner of government of India, ठीक है, so even if you were like living before the commencement or after the commencement, which is okay, but just you have to follow all the formalities, register yourself with that counselor, etc., and you would be considered as citizen and you would be getting the rights of a citizen. 9th article says persons voluntarily acquiring the citizenship of a foreign state not to be citizens. So it is very clearly, see, the details of losing a citizenship will be provided by that act. That is not mentioned here, but just one clause is there very clearly saying that if you voluntarily, so it is telling that no person shall be a citizen of India by virtue of article 5, यानी कि जो ये बर्थ और ये सब वाला था, क्योंकि बाकी सब तो माइग्रेटेड थे ना, द अदर 2 वर माइग्रेटेड एंड द लास्ट द 6 एंड द 7 दे वर माइग्रेटेड, एंड दिस वन वाज अबाउट कि इंडियन ऑरिजिन है बट अभी टेम्प्रेरी बाहर रह रहे हैं, ठीक है. बट इट इज़ टेलिंग दैट फॉर 5 कि बर्थ भी अगर आपका हुआ है और पेरेंट्स का एट्सेट्रा, but still you will not be considered to be a citizen of India by virtue of 5, 6 or even 8 if he has voluntarily acquired the citizenship of any state. So if you would intentionally, like voluntarily, if you are acquiring the citizenship of any other state, आप इंडिया के सिटीजन तो नहीं बनोगे, मतलब हट जाओगे अपने आप, you will not be considered as a citizen. Article 10 says continuance of the rights of citizenship. छोटा सा आर्टिकल है, इसको समझेंगे what it is telling. Now every person who is or who is deemed to be, so who already is a citizen or who is wanting to be a citizen or expecting to be a citizen of India under any of the foregoing provisions of this part, ठीक है, जो भी अभी तक हमने करे 5 से लेके 9 तक. So under all of these provisions, in whatever manner, if you have become a citizen or you are expecting yourself to become a citizen, shall, subject to the provisions of any law that may be made by Parliament, continue to be such citizen. So you will get to have the rights of the citizenship in India, but provided that you are subjected to the provisions of law which are made by the Parliament. You follow that, and all the parliamentary laws that are made would be applicable on you, and you would continue to be the citizen. 11th number says Parliament to regulate the right of citizenship by law. It is very clearly saying, क्योंकि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में क्या क्या चीज़ें मेंशन है, सिर्फ कमेंसमेंट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पे ये 4 आर्टिकल्स थे. देन इफ़ यू आर वॉलेंटरली acquiring of some foreign state, you will not be considered a citizen of India. Your rights as a citizen will continue. And then it is telling now any other matter related to citizenship, because it was, जब कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बन रहा था, of course it is very obvious कि how would it had been possible for them to mention everything about citizenship then. Because at that point of time, because it was all about the partition, it was all about the country and dividing and people getting divided between the countries and who belongs to what dominion, etc. So us time pe citizenship was definitely a critical matter. It still is. Therefore we have many such issues related, which I'll cover in all the subsequent videos. We are going to have like a very very long discussion on these topics in chota videos of limited duration, so that you are understanding the things clearly. So it says that now the Parliament has to regulate the right of citizenship by law. So Parliament will make a law to regulate the right of citizenship. And it is telling that nothing in the foregoing provision, whatever has been given in the earlier articles, will derogate from the power of Parliament. वो कहीं से भी Parliament के लिए hindrance भी नहीं बनेगा to make any provision with respect to either acquisition of citizenship or termination of citizenship and any other matters relating to citizenship. ये सब कुछ कौन डील करेगा? Parliament डील करेगा. And therefore Parliament came up with the Citizenship Act 1955, जो मैंने आपको यहाँ से बताना शुरू करना है अगले लेक्चर में. So now I hope you are done with the articles of the constitution related to citizenship, and now you shouldn't be having a problem in this. So if we just have to like quickly, because we were doing कि हमने क्या क्या already कर लिया है, so अगर मैं अब उसमें ये बोलूँ तो all of these are also done. So you should have this checklist कि चलो अब हमने पार्ट 2 भी कर लिया, यहाँ से पार्ट 1 भी कर लिया था, प्रियम्बल तो कर ही लिया था, पार्ट 3 फंडामेंटल राइट्स, उस पर जैसे धीरे धीरे हम बढ़ेंगे करेंगे. बट फंडामेंटल राइट्स में भी हमने जैसे आर्टिकल 13 है वो किया हुआ है, ये कुछ 31 ABC जो हैं वो किए हुए हैं, ठीक है. इसमें भी हमने 39 BC किया था डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स में, बट बिकॉज इट वुड बी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड टू मार्क इट राइट नाउ बिकॉज दैट्स नॉट अ होल आर्टिकल, तो उसको हम आराम से करेंगे जब हम टॉपिक करेंगे. एंड वी ऑल्सो डिड अबाउट लाइक इन द प्रीवियस वीडियोज़, एक आर्टिकल ये वाला हमने बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट करा था 143. देन आई ऑल्सो शो यू सम अदर आर्टिकल्स जो अभी हमने लेटेस्ट कवर किए हैं यूनियन टेरिटरीज़ के. नाउ दीज आर ऑल्सो डन, ठीक है. अभी लास्ट एक वीडियो बनाई थी स्पेशल पावर्स ऑफ दिल्ली को लेके, मतलब स्पेशल केस ऑफ दिल्ली. सो दिस पार्ट इज़ ऑल्सो डन. सो दिस इज़ पार्ट 8, right? So if you have to like let's say quickly mark the exact parts that we have covered so that you are not confused, right? Then between एक और आर्टिकल कर लिया था हमने, बट अगर हम एक टोटल पार्ट पे बात करेंगे सो देन 20, ठीक है. सो शेड्यूल्स तो यहाँ से शुरू हैं, बट अगर आपको मार्क करना है पार्ट्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अंडर विच ऑल ऑफ द आर्टिकल्स वी हैव सीन वर्बैटिम, बिल्कुल मैंने आपको डायरेक्टली यहाँ से दिखाया है. सो दिस इज़ पार्ट 1 यूनियन एंड टेरिटरी, ठीक है, एंड टेरिटरी, ये सिटीजनशिप. पार्ट 2, पार्ट 8 अभी जो हमने देखा, और पार्ट 20. सो पार्ट 20 अबाउट अमेंडमेंट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, or part 8 was about the union territories. I hope you understand the difference. This is union and territory, which means state and everything is also included in this, and this is only those centrally administered territories. तो इतने पार्ट्स कर लिए और इसके अंडर के सारे आर्टिकल्स भी हमने कर लिए हैं. ठीक है. नाउ आई सी यू गाइज इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो, continuing the topic of Citizenship Act 1955. Thank you so much guys. Take care till then. Bye bye.